Hey everyone, what's going on? Joey here, and this Sunday, January 9th, is the 79th Golden Globe Awards. And a lot of people have been sending us messages saying, who cares? What is even going on with that show? Because there's been a lot of issues with it in the past, and right now it looks like they're kind of continuing. And so I want to talk to you guys about that and more. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe, you turn on notifications, and you give this video a thumbs up. Let's get started. So this Sunday is the Golden Globes, but as it's being reported right now, there's going to be no celebrities, no presenters, really no one who you might even know in the audience. This Golden Globes won't have any media or guests, with the exception of representatives from the organizations that the HFPA has donated to or supported over the years. Those who actually are attending the event have to show that they've been vaccinated, boosted, and had a negative test. So at this point, think about it. No celebrities, there's no big media, you're not having a red carpet, which they actually just canceled today, that there's no red carpet for the event. On top of all of this, NBC, who has aired the Globes for 25 years, announced that they aren't airing it on their network at all. And you would think that's pretty bad. I mean, NBC must be losing a lot of money by not airing it. Well, not really. If you look at the numbers of people who actually go to watch these award shows these days, it doesn't look like that there's too many people actually tuning into the show. So there's a lot of questions coming out, such as, how will the winners be announced? Are they going to take to social media live that day and be like, hey, so-and-so, you won the award? Or will everyone have to wait until the next day when NBC puts it on their streaming service? Which, I guess they're still holding their obligation of airing it by streaming it the next day? It's so strange to me. So the question is this show still worth having? Well, let's go ahead and break down all the numbers and the ratings for this past year's Golden Globes and a couple other award shows, because this looks like this might be a trend. Now, last year was the worst watched Golden Globes in its history, with only about 6.9 million viewers. Now, you're probably saying to yourself, well, that's actually pretty good, right? But when you think of what their numbers were in 2020, you're like, what? In 2020, they had 18.3 million viewers. Yeah, you heard me. That is more than a 50%. That's a 2% drop in viewership. And you got to remember something, that this came during a time, where were we exactly a year ago when this thing was airing? We were locked down in our house, nothing to do. So it wasn't like something like, we were too busy, maybe there's other things going on. No. We were home in front of our TVs and our computers, and we still went and said, you know what, we're not going to watch the Globes. No, not tonight. Go put on a tennis match from 1992. That's more interesting than the Golden Globes. Now, this audience was something that you would say wasn't the worst for the year. I know, you're probably saying, wait, it was worse? Someone had worse? Yeah, let's look at the Emmys. The Emmys, which is something I'm pretty sure everyone watches. I watch the Emmys. Well, that one did worse than the Golden Globes, only pulling in 6.3 million viewers in 2020, which is not too much down from their normal numbers. In 2019, they saw 7.4 million. So, it dropped, but not as much as the Golden Globes. Now, let's go ahead and look at other award ceremonies while we're at it. Now, the Grammys last year had 8.8 million viewers compared to their 19.9 million in 2019. The Oscars had 9.23 million viewers last year compared to their 29.6 million viewers in 2019 and 18.6 million in 2020. Look at that drop. You're talking about 29, 18, now 9 million. The Billboard Awards, which not to be rude, I don't really think anyone watches them. They had 8.1 million in 2019. Last year, 2.8 million. Yeah, that's pretty bad. And let's finish with the MTV Video Music Awards, which I always have to remind myself that this is still a thing. MTV is still around, and they still do awards. Well, last year they pulled in 3 million people compared in 2019, which was 4.9 million. So overall, all the ratings of these shows show that people really don't care about award shows anymore. Why is that? Before I give you my opinion, I want you to go ahead and write in the comment section why you think that is. You know, here on my YouTube channel, we have a younger audience. I think the demo for this is about 16 to about 35. So you're the generation that these shows really should be targeting, but it looks like that's not the case. You know, let's keep in mind that all of these award shows, being that they're like the 70th, the 80th, or even like the 50th or 60th, they're all geared towards older generations. So let me give you my opinion on why these award shows aren't doing well. Well, we see a giant jump in viewership from 2019 to 2020 to 2021, and you could definitely say that the pandemic took its toll on here. A lot of these movies and TV shows didn't air because, well, they couldn't get in to film them, and then, of course, when it came time to film them, we had different variants, they had to shut down, redo things over and over again. But I'm seeing a giant trend, not just in award shows, but also in movies. Let's jump back to the, I think it was West Side Story that just came out, which just had a $100 million budget to go ahead and produce. They only walked away with $10 million, which means that demographic, which is, I mean, it's more of a rom-com kind of female demographic, aren't going to the movies. And studios are definitely starting to see that. As you can see, there's a lot of other rom-coms. I think there's a new one with J-Lo and Owen Wilson that's coming out. They're starting to push all of these premieres back a few months, hoping that hopefully things start to recover and that people want to go back to the movies. And we're not talking about the superhero movies, because those things are more geared towards men for the most part. And unfortunately, it just looks like a lot of women aren't going back to the movies. So when it comes to the ratings of these shows, I feel like the demographic are women. If they're not going to the shows or they're not watching the TV shows, then I don't think that their demographic are going to go ahead and tune in. I don't think they're interested in it. And the other part of it is that I think that maybe the new generation, which is now the generation of I need to know everything now, they don't want to tune in to a 3-hour or 2-hour long show. They just want to go ahead, wait till the end, and Google it. Who won what? Who got what? And so those are my 2 ratings right now. I think overall the audience just isn't there. And the audience just wants a demand for content. I mean, usually you post something on TikTok and someone wants a follow-up video instantaneous. I want it right now. I want to see what happens. So those are my reasonings. And so I want to know in the comment section, why is it that you think that these ratings aren't doing well? Why are you not watching these award shows? Anyway, I want to thank you guys for joining me. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe, turn on notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. Anyway, I'm Joey. Stay safe and sound. I'll see you later. Bye.